Man, a win is a win. I get the consternation, but man, some of y'all Eagles fans are going fucking nuclear on Jalen Hurts, on Nick Sirianni, on Kellen Moore, on the offense in general, and I don't believe that the offense is blameless. But let's take the fucking dub. And I know that most of you, the majority of you, don't understand what the fuck you're even looking at. All you look at is a TV copy. Look from behind with a limited angle that shows just the offensive line, defensive line, and you assess from there. Oh, Jalen, isn't throwing the ball. Are you even seeing what the defense is doing? Are you seeing their motions, their shifts, their pass coverage, their last minute adjustments? You have no idea what the hell is going on from the TV copy. Break down the analysis. Call out some coverages. Call out the play design. Call out the gap schemes. The responsibilities. You can't do none of that shit, so shut the fuck up. Like, until you're able to analyze the game like one of the analysts, I don't want to hear jack shit from none of you bald-headed Birds fans. It gets annoying. You would think we're in the midst of a losing streak, aka 2023 last year. 5 out of the last 6 games, 6 out of 7 if you include the playoff loss, 32-9 loss against Tampa Bay. Like, we're in the midst of a 9-game winning streak, and all you motherfuckers can talk about is the ineptitude of the passing game. It drives me crazy. When the Chiefs are barely winning, but no, you don't hear any mention of that because they've been winning like that all season. If you look at the spread across the league, there are closer games this year. Points are down. Defenses overall are doing a much better job of stifling offenses. And you want us to be Josh Allen, having a record-breaking performance, 3 TDs and 3 rushing TDs, 3 passing TDs, in a 44-42 loss against the Rams. That's what you want. Or Lamar last week, losing. But in the MVP, man, shut the hell up. And just become a Giants fan, or Commanders fan, or a long-suffering Cowboys fan. I hate you losers, bro. Anyways, let's get into it. What's up? It's your boy Cintron coming back at you with another analysis video to get you nuts from running. Y'all got me fired up today, man. Anyways, 22-16 is the final score, and I'll be honest. I was waiting for the Eagles to put this one away. They didn't. I believe that the cause of that was a identity crisis. We came out and urgently made it a priority to try to pass when we should have been balancing, it out with the run game. We weren't committed to the run game. Saquon, despite the numbers, 124 yards, only had 20 attempts. Gainwell didn't get enough carries. Into dispersing, the run game. And I don't, some people say, the pass blocking was bad. I have yet to, look at the tape myself, so I will never make a declaration without doing so. But I'll be the first to admit, Jalen did hold on to some balls, where, he wasn't trusting, what he was seeing. And I think, him being turnover conscious of, the fact that, he can't make a mistake, especially in a tighter game today, may have played a factor in that. But he was keeping the ball safe. He was making the plays we needed to. Those 2 scoring drives we went on, he made some key plays on that. And you cannot take that away from him. Even with his legs on that 30-yarder, I think that was in, the 4th quarter. People, I love what someone said. People don't count his rushing attempts, his rushing yards, factor into the equation. It's not, Joe Burrow isn't doing that. Matt Stafford isn't doing that. Jared Goff isn't doing that. Because that's not a part of their repertoire. Yet it's part of QB1s, and he gets discounted for it. I really don't understand. You finicky football fans. Go study up and watch some fucking tape, man. But, this one, Carolina struck first blood. Then I think we scored a touchdown. Then they scored a touchdown. Then we scored a touchdown, and then they scored a touchdown. And they missed that extra point attempt, but it was a back and forth affair. And I would say the defense. What pissed me off. I mean, and it's a small thing, but they couldn't corral Bryce Young. I mean, you see that he's getting out of tackles. Make sure you secure the guy. He's not the most fleet of foot. He's not the biggest guy. So you got to finish those tackles. So, I mean, and then, getting out of, certain rush lanes, you can't rush him like he's a typical pocket quarterback. He's not Lamar, but he's closer to that visage than you would think as far as, him, using his escapability to, ejector seat out of the pocket. That being said, some players were taking a task. Adam Thielen, highly underrated guy. He was key in the game last week. 10 receptions for 99 yards. In this game, he had over 100, I think, on 8 receptions. I wouldn't have been adverse to, just sending one player with him, whether that be Slay or whether it be Quinion. But I know Quinion hasn't traveled with us. He's done it, I think, a modicum of the time. Slay has done it, throughout his career, like he did with Justin Jefferson in 2002, I believe. But that being said, man, you can't, they had some, they couldn't get off the field on third downs due to, crafty route running and stuff like that, setting up our rookies. But this was an outlier. There was dead out there, how they played the Chiefs and how they played the Bucks, past concurrent weeks. But that being said, this is a new formula for these guys. They're playing with a new confidence. Bryce Young is no longer the Bryce Young we saw in 2004 or last year. I mean, he's an improving player. He's growing week by week. His confidence is skyrocketing. And, he showcased that. We still held him to, very respectable numbers. But people saying it was only just the Panthers. And you should have, run roughshod, pass all over their defense. We didn't know what the hell we wanted to do on that side of the ball. You cannot. Just the first 15 stink. So that already every week has us at a deficit, and then you throw in some stuff that we don't usually do to try and get the passing game going when our bread and butter is the run game, and eventually fall back into that. That's uber frustrating in a game that you should play to your strengths, which we shied away from, and then get experimental. Mix in and run the pass. We stayed away from the I formation. I'm like, what are we doing? That's not what we've been doing over the past couple weeks. Most of that shit. What are we doing? But anyways, let's get to the second half of our video here. Eagles versus Panthers, the good, the bad, and ugly. And I'm expecting the bad and the ugly to be some hefty sections. So let's get into it. So first up here, the good. On the final play, he was hurt throughout the match. Like he suffered a rib injury, a midsection injury. He was hobbled on the sidelines, but credit to Darius Slay, he went out and finished the match. And especially his wisdom being used on that final play with Adam Thielen. He, ran tight alongside him. And then, when he saw the ball was being thrown, he had that last spurt, caught up to him and knocked the ball down. Extra play by, a veteran DB, and, that closed out the game, 4th and 9. And, we survived a scare just before that, but they did close the game out. That was a good note to end the game on because they had struggled to get them off the field, struggled to corral Bryce Young, keep him in the pocket, and let him make some plays. Like they said in the Philly Film Room, go check them out in the best YouTube analyst channel on YouTube. Double negative, double useless information. Anyways, you cannot let him do what he did, what we allowed him to do. So he got on the edge of the defense, was able to improvise Lamar light. But it's funny, people don't realize this. We did a better job of corralling Lamar Jackson because we knew what he was. But we couldn't do that because we didn't have that game plan necessarily in place for Bryce Young. Avonte Maddox, the Cintron catch, that was a huge special teams play. If he doesn't put them there, maybe they go down and score easily. So every yard counts, and they came up 9 short on the final drive. So all right, the 15-yard completion to AJ Brown on 3rd and 13. Don't even remember that, to be honest with you, but like I said, every reception is precious in limited snaps. And AJ said something in regards to that post game, but hopefully they'll get those issues solved, come to resolutions, and move on to the Steelers, because they're a tough, hard-nosed unit coming to, or on both sides of the football team coming to Philadelphia. All right, Grant Calcaterra, his first touchdown. I mean, people saying Jalen can't throw in the red zone. False. Can't throw in the middle. False. Again, with these contrived narratives. All right, Hurts season long 35-yard run on the scramble in the final play of the third quarter. So it was the third quarter. Yeah, that was a backbreaker for that defense. They finally think they got him off the field. The D tackle Tribble, and I think a linebacker Josie come in. Think they have him. They run into each other. Hurts uses their momentum that swung him out of the sack to run up the middle and get a backbreaking 35 yards. So, all right, defensive tackle Jalen Carter shows his football IQ. I mean, reading the screen. I mean, he did it last week against Lamar Jackson and the Dirty Birds, not Dirty Birds, but the Ravens, sniffing out that jet sweep. Zay Flowers. I mean, yeah, everybody else is flowing this way. Jalen Carter was the only one, to sniff it out. So, I mean, every week he shows up. I think he was blatantly held on one play. They didn't throw a flag on, but it's becoming a recurrent affair. I mean, like, the NFL just submit those plays, Nick, because they're tripping. 18-yard run on the second play of the second half. Yeah, I mean, like, it was beautiful to see that and the 19-yard sweep play. I think they're both sweep plays by Gainwell. And just every yard counts in this one. And the ground game was working. I don't know why we didn't try to balance things out, try to play action them, because they were playing us to death on the other side. All right, Devonta Smith on a 4-yard touchdown. Yeah, I mean, it was an easier pass to AJ in the end zone, but yeah, I mean, there could have been an offensive PI on that play. But, the ones that they missed, they make up for it. Because, Jalen Carter was being held quite a bit in this game. And they just never seemed to call it. And, yeah, C.J. Gardner-Johnson making look like it dropped that ball. Boy, and he put that leg down. Like, damn. He made him cough that shit up. And he's not a small receiver. 6'2" or 6'3", 227. Man, CJ's bringing that force. He put down Derrick Henry last week. I mean, so your boy's bringing that wood. The third drive. I mean, yeah, scoring drive, 4:57 off the clock, 10 plays, 70 yards. Hey, man, it's becoming something that we love to see here in Philly, the brotherly shove. I mean, not that, but our players stepping up clutch on these certain drives throughout the game, and that was one of them. And we'll never get the credit because fans are just hating, but it was one of those season-defining drives that we have each and every game. But like I said, Hurts isn't appreciated here. All right, Zach Bond making a great play, taking out Bryce Young for a sack. I mean, he just came in there. I think it was a late flex from him from the second level to the D line to make it a 5-man line, and he rushed against the guard like straight up, used his leverage, distance to keep him away with the long Gumby arms he has, and then just brought down Bryce Young. It was just, I think was maybe the only sack we got on him that day. So or today, yeah, it was hard to come by. All right, cornerback Ringo taking on Rasheer Blackshear. I think that might have put him out of the game because he hit him pretty hard, man. Okay, it was it's a credit as a 20-yard run. They thought it was a 19-yard run, but yeah, it was pretty damn good. Jake Elliott, he's going through something right now. We gotta see him through it, but hopefully he's able to recover. Because that I agree with Seth that Jaguars game, maybe shaking his confidence because Nick wasn't sending him out there, due to his willy nilly, overconfident issues on sticking with trying to get the points. And I'm like, bro, build a confidence in your kicker. Just send him out there at least once, to get the points. To know he's got it, and then you put him in a highly pressurized situation the following week, and then he, fails, and that leads to his confidence issues. Maybe it's crazy. Yeah, Cooper DeJean getting beat by Adam Thielen. I mean, the rookie made a play on the C.J. Gardner-Johnson interception that helped him to make that one, but he was taking a task by Adam Thielen, and it's hard. He's one of those crafty route runners. Not the fastest, not the biggest, not the strongest. Even though he was pressing the hell out of Cooper DeJean at the line, giving him some problems. But I mean, it was a good lesson to learn for the rookie. Watch a tape and see what he did wrong. How he had the wrong leverage. How he showed he didn't exercise patience. He jumped the gun from that double move. He got caught. He got caught, but it happens to the best of them, and he's just a rookie, so. He'll grow from it, learn from it, and he had get that C grade, C- today. But you have to get out there and play the games to learn. Possible concussion, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming back twice from 2 separate injuries. Just shows how tough the guy is, man. And he's a player that was made for Philly, not just because he runs his mouth, but he backs it up. All right, Hurts not seeing his receivers. Yeah, we'll get to that later because, we'll see if he was not seeing what he was seeing because we don't know. Lane Johnson getting flagged for holding. It happens, man. Right. Yeah, the fact they couldn't bring him down. Like I said, when I saw Josh Sweat pounding the ground, I'm like, bro, could you use that energy to bring this man down? You let this guy use angles on you, man. Momentum. Swing his little ass down in the play. I can count on my hand at least 3 to 4 plays where he escaped, would be sacks. Just can't let that shit happen, man. 3:19 to play, Hurts delay a game. Yeah, that hurt, but somebody call that, man. Yeah, the opening defense on the opening drive of the second half. Yeah. I mean, if Thomas Booker is able to corral Chuba, cool. But he missed on the spin move. You gotta be aware of those slippery guys. Chuba, he's a hard nosed runner. I didn't know he was 210. I thought he was lighter than that, but yeah, man, he's in the top 5. Sneaky good on a bad team. Eagles defense on Carolina's 4th drive. Yeah, that was just a route. You can see Vic Fangio in the press box getting heated because he was like, "Why you let him undercut you like that?" But he had to fight through traffic. But I don't know what the call is there. You kind of say, "Okay, I got this man," and let this man go around. I think that would have been the right call to banjo it up and to switch responsibilities. But by the time we realized that's what they were going to do, too late. All right, the Eagles' first quarter again. Yeah, our first 15 stink, man. So we have to find a way to test out the defense while also going with a few bread and butter plays. Then building off of those. I don't want to say lazy writing, but you don't want to put out a formula. Switch things up in the playoffs or switch things up in the last closing weeks. Don't know, but we got to fix it. We got to address it. And the last one, Nolan Smith losing contain and failing to shed the block by Treble. Okay, yeah, he's typically a good run defender, but a lot of warts came out in this one. I'm glad that we put this out on tape so we can review it and get better. And at this point in the season, this is the first really super inconsistent game we've seen on offense and defense. So I think they'll address the things, and they'll this won't be a big issue. It could be a bigger issue. I'm not saying it is if we let the things fester about the passing game, because we see the receivers frustrated on the sideline, and it is what it is. But the running game, using it as the key cog, is working right now. The passing game should be a compliment, and we gotta be better on the execution side. And I think if we are, then there's not a hubbub, but we'll see. Anyways, we'll end the video here, but you're not even watching though, but it's all good because I love making these videos and I love talking about the freaking stinking Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll try to introduce this officially, but as always, it's fly Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.